It makes total sense now why women love losers like this. Years and years ago, when I saw a dude that looked like this, I would think to myself, what a low-class thug loser. What a poverty-stricken POS, right? But I noticed in my life journey, to my surprise, I actually found out that women were actually madly attracted to these type of guys. And for the longest time, I really couldn't figure out why. This is what it's all about right here. It all boils down to this. These are the type of guys who survive in no law, anarchy, every man for himself, survival situations. Because you see, our modern way of thinking in society is a very new thing. Because remember, for millions and millions of years, we've been living in a dog-eat-dog, murder your fellow man, survival situation. And just barely the past 200 years or so, it's been civil, play by the rules, play by the law type thing. For millions and millions of years, women saw these types as their offspring surviving, and their family genes and bloodline going forward for many generations to come. Because like for 98% of all human existence, men lived and survived like these types right here. Money and career is not the objective of these type of people. Passing on their genes, that's the objective. I guarantee you, each and every one of these type of dudes right here has multiple kids by multiple mothers. And they've been living by this business model for generations and generations, millions of years. And it is very likely that their own kids will follow in their footsteps. They'll be joining a gang at an early age. They'll go out and kill at an early age. They'll go out and try drugs at an early age. And these kids don't care if they go to prison or not, because that's where their dad's been their whole life. That's where their grandpa's been their whole life. But they will fulfill their mission of having a high number of children, because they all have that quote-unquote killer instinct that women secretly love and women secretly admire. Today's modern society isn't set up for these types to be successful. That's why they knock up tons of women right before they get locked up. And if they ever get released, you can guarantee they'd be right back at their knock-up game. Let's say, for instance, tens of thousands of these types were released in your city. They would basically run amok, and they would take over. They would destroy our peaceful, organized, civil way of life. And they would basically knock up all our sisters and all of our daughters. If there was ever some sort of economic collapse, these types right here would rise again. Just like they did for millions of years. They'd survive. They would mate with all the women because chicks are secretly moist for them. These guys right here are the actual reason why prisons exist. And there's a reason why we lock them up. Because there's no way in heck us normal, financially responsible, socially peaceful types could ever compete with these guys right here. Because the truth is, these types right here never wanted to become a CEO. They didn't want to make six figures. They didn't want to go to college. All these dudes are focused on is surviving and having a buttload of children. That's their life mission right there. They don't want some park bench or some statue named after them because they were a millionaire. They don't want some university library named after them because they donated $1 million. They just want to pass on their gene. That's it. They just want to have an army of their offspring to follow them. That's a greater legacy in their eyes. In a traditional animal kingdom, one alpha male would mate with 20 different females. It's a survival of the fittest type situation, and the strongest genes only survive. But since there's such thing as marriage, life insurance, home mortgages, police officers, prisons, and the ability to talk, some not so alpha male types have a shot of knocking up chicks. So yeah, betas actually stand a chance in this day and age because we're civil. We're a social construct. You know what I mean? It's not millions and millions of years ago. So we actually have a fighting chance to actually mate with a chick. But, you know, when society collapses, females will go back to their natural instinct of wanting these type of dudes right here. And it's always been like that. Nothing's really changed. It's just the only difference is they hide it nowadays. But once shoot hits the fan, they ain't gonna hide it no more.